Hello, beautiful souls. It's Lisa Driver. And if you want to go from feeling not enough to soulful, I'm going to share with you a really simple, practical exercise today that can help you do just that. So one of the things that happens when we feel not enough is we start comparing ourselves to others. We get into our head a little bit, the self-doubt creeps in, and we start looking to see what other people are doing in the hopes of maybe getting some inspiration, some motivation. But usually what happens, especially when it comes to social media, is it just ends up making us feel worse. We start feeling guiltier, that mom guilt starts to compile, and it really starts to stagnate our energy. We stop going with the flow. We really put a cap on that divine feminine power that all of us beautiful, nurturing women have within us. So I'm going to share an exercise with you today. I'm also going to share a couple cards. And this exercise is from a book called Life's Greatest Lessons by Hal Urban. And in here, he shares some of the lessons he's learned as a professor and as a father and from his students and from fellow teachers. And one of the exercises in here that I love that I wanted to share because it's been so powerful for me is a lesson on gratitude. Now, I write a lot about gratitude in my 3 spiritual guidebooks, which you can find at lisadriver.com. But in this exercise, he goes a little deeper with it. He says the first step is recognizing how often you complain. And he challenges his students to not complain for 24 hours. Well, guess how many of those students can go 24 hours without complaining? He's taught 70,000 students, he guesstimates. And guess how many of them have gone 24 hours? Now, if you guess 0, you're like me, but the answer is actually 4, which really 4 out of 70,000, that's ridiculous. But the reason is it's easy. It's easy to complain. I mean, we are human. We're imperfect, right? We are sort of designed to want more. And in doing so, sometimes we focus on what we don't have rather than what we do have. And this is, of course, where the gratitude piece comes in. And this gratitude is what's going to get you into that flow, into that grounded, present energy that helps you to manifest more. It helps you to be more confident. It helps you to be a better parent, to be a better partner, to be a better leader, and to shine for those around you. So that's step 1. Step 2 is to make a list of things you're grateful for. Now, he breaks it into 3 categories: people, like your spouse or your partner, or your parents or your kids, or your friends, me, my soulful sisterhood tribe, I love you guys. The second one is things, so my rockin' minivan, my mom van I call it, my beautiful home, the kiddie pool that keeps the kids happy outside on warm days. It can be the food in your fridge, beautiful dress and makeup to get you all dolled up. I have a wedding tonight, by the way. And then the third thing is other. And this is things like celebration, intimacy, freedom, spirituality is a big one, right? That connection to the divine, that source that flows to you and through you. All of these things are really simple to list, usually. So I challenge you to do this, to take a piece of paper, sit down and write these 3 things. And then once you've done that, you read it. And you don't just read it once a day. He recommends you read it in the morning when you wake up, after lunch, after supper, and before you go to bed. And do this for at least 3 weeks, he says, because it'll kind of like a new habit drill home in you this sense of gratitude. Now, he talks about how he does this with his students on a Friday and has them do this over the weekend. And by Monday, they come in just radiant and glowing and head held high and just different energies completely. And it makes sense because you're working with the law of attraction, where what you focus on expands. Where you put your energy to, things flow, right? Where energy goes, where focus goes, energy flows. And so it's one of those things where I think that the more you can focus on the things that really light you up, the more grounded you are in this present moment. And the one thing I'll say about that before I get to the cards is that doesn't mean you don't want more. Because we are a manifesting group. If you're here, if you're watching this, you probably, like me, love personal development. You want to be better. You want to show up. You want to heal some patterns and be a better mom and be a better leader and be a better partner and be a better friend. And that's okay, right? Who doesn't want more money in their bank? Who doesn't want more joy and love and intimacy in their life, right? This is the soulful part, going from not enough to soulful. And that full soul looks like happiness and fulfillment and contentment. So know that it's okay to want more, but the trick is to not get too stuck in how you're going to get that and in how you're going to get more. Because when we do that, we kind of muddy the water. Our energy gets a little bit like fuzzy. Whereas if we focus on what we already have, the universe goes, oh, this girl's got it down. She's ready for more. Let's bring it. Let's go. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Let me know in the comments if it does. So I'm going to get to some cards. I had taped a video already last week and it just erased. It disappeared. So I'm assuming that this was meant to be and there was something that really resonated with you guys. But I'm going to use the same deck as I used at my last time. And I'm going to see if some of the same cards pop up. And one of the things I love about Oracle cards, and Gabriel's beautiful, he talks about speaking our truth and really speaking our gratitude and putting that vibration out into the universe. But Oracle cards really reflect what's going on in our intuition and in our energy. And I love to use them to amplify my intuition. So when I pull cards and when I pull them for you, I want you to think about what it really evokes in you. What's the first thing that pops into your head when you see the card? What area of your life, there's one, really comes to mind? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull 2 cards today. You can pick one that you're drawn to, or you can just say both will have a message. And they'll have resonant messages. But the first one that popped out was this guy, and this was the second one. Now let's see. Now what I also love is 9 times out of 10 when I'm talking about something or teaching something and then I pull cards, it ties in with it, or it pretty much is just like mic drop, boom, that was exactly it. And that happened in the last video. It was like I was talking about worthiness and gratitude, and then it was the deserving card, which I thought was so funny. Now neither of these are the deserving card, but they're both really awesome. Speaking of Gabriel, we have express your inner truth. And I think what I'm really getting from the angels is that a lot of you are really blessed, but you are doing that thing, and like no guilt, no shame. You're doing that thing where you're focusing on what you want and what you don't have instead of what you do. And that's why you're finding manifesting tricky. That's why you're finding that flow, that surrender tricky, because you're speaking from a place of I wish and I want and I need instead of I have and I'm thankful and I get to. Okay, so watch your words. And ask for Gabriel to help if you're struggling with that. And look at the other card is success, whoop, whoop, abundance, congratulations, it says, you did it. So this is a celebratory card. And what I really get from this is another way you can take this gratitude is as you're doing it, you can be thinking about things you want to add to those lists. So if there are things, especially material, it's always easy to say like, well, I want a bigger house or I want a bigger car or a newer car. You can put those on the list and then act as if and really feel into what that would feel like when you go pick up your brand new wheels, right? Or when you get the keys from your realtor. And this is something that I'll teach in weeks to come. I do it a lot on my Soulful Sisterhood Facebook page. Make sure you're joining me there. I'm going to be doing some exciting stuff. I'll get to that in a minute. But the bottom card, which if you followed me for a while, you know I love the bottom card. It's always just kind of a bonus message, an exclamation point. It's perfectionism. Okay, this is huge with those of us who feel not enough. How many of you would consider yourself a perfectionist? Yes, everyone's raising their hand. I see it. You're a perfectionist or you're a procrastinator, one of the two. And they come from the same energy. They come from the energy of fear of not enough, fear of lack, fear of being unlovable, fear of being heard, fear of being validated and seen. Tell me if this resonates with you, because oh my gosh, I've lived it. And I've got all these spiritual tools that have helped me to let go of it. And I'm still a work in progress. I'm a recovering perfectionist, I call myself, a recovering people pleaser, a recovering middle child who needs that attention and validation. But it's one of those things where there's no such thing as perfect. I mean, besides the divine energy, which is perfect in you, you're a human. You chose a human body, and a human body is full of imperfections. And you also have to remember, as a mom, your kids chose you, imperfections and all. I mean, look at your own parents. They're flawed. As you get older, you're like, oh, they were just pretending. Like, where are these adultier adults? Like, no one knows what's going on. We're all just doing our best. So try and have a little bit of grace with yourself. Again, something I'm going to teach a lot about in these videos and on my pages. Stay tuned. I'm so excited to be back, you guys. I finally have a little bit of time every morning with both my girls in school. I'm going to be doing monthly videos. This is my plan. And then another blog. So you're going to see 2 blogs on lisadriver.com. One's going to include the video of the month and another one's going to include a little deeper dive into some lessons. And then I'm getting back to doing events. Now these are going to be online virtual events to start. Eventually I might transition to live once the pandemic kind of figures itself out. But for now, I'm gonna be doing online Zoom events. And if you want to join me for my first event at a hugely discounted rate, make sure you're part of my Soulful Sisterhood or my email list. Either or, I'm gonna be sending out an awesome coupon code for my first event that's gonna be happening in October. And if you can't join me on the Zoom, you can send your questions in and you can watch the replay. It's gonna be great. Make sure you join me there. It's a free group. I'm gonna be doing bonus readings in the Soulful Sisterhood. I'm gonna be sharing some meditations. I'm gonna be popping on there and really connecting with you guys and building that sisterhood up, because man, oh man, we all need that connection. We need that support. We need to feel validated as we speak our truth and as we celebrate and try to be better and to create more abundance in our lives. So I look forward to seeing you there. I'm so excited to connect and to be back at it. And I'm so grateful for you guys. I'm sending you lots of love, and I'll talk to you soon. Namaste.